So we just made it to Pompey.
Pompey!
As we were getting off the train, these people offered us a free map, and it wasn't a free map because you had to buy an audio tour with it, which was super hilarious because Morgan's like, oh yeah, we already got an audio tour. And they're like, get out. We're like, no free map? They're like, no, not for you. Check this out. I am standing right now in the middle of the Forum. Right behind me, this is the Temple of Jupiter, the king of all the gods. And behind the Temple of Jupiter is the old mountain, old volcano of Pompeii. You can see the big dip in the center. Oh, that is old volcano of Pompeii. That is the old volcano of Mount Vesuvius, which blew its top and covered this city in white ash, preserving it till now. You can see that there's a giant bite taken out of the top of the mountain. That's what exploded.
Behind us in these granaries, they have a couple examples of the plaster cast of people. And what happened was when they were excavating, they would find a hollow spot. And basically when they opened it, they realized that it was an outside mold, a cast of these people who had died here, and the ash kept the shape, and then all the organic material decayed and left this just hollow shell of a person or a dog. And so what they did was that they came in with liquid plaster and they poured it in, and then they got these really cool casts of what these people used to look like on that last fatal day.
Check it out behind me. These are the ancient Roman mills that would crush the flour. They would have either slaves or donkeys turn these around in a circle. And a typical milling stone has two flat donuts that rub against each other. The grain comes in through the center of the top one and then out through the sides. This is kind of similar, except for it has like a spool on top, and the bottom one isn't a flat donut at all. Instead, it's a giant cone. So they actually rub around each other like a person with a hat on, and then the grain comes out in between. I think that's super cool because then it's self-stabilizing. And this thing behind me over here that looks like an old pizza oven is actually their old bread oven. Super cool. So you can probably see it behind me, but all these grooves in the road are made from the chariots 2,000 years ago that would run over the same spot and wear away a groove, and sometimes they get so deep that they could break the wheels.
If you can't guess, this was the brothel. They have images of what goes on inside of this house, and that's how they identified it.
This right here is a perfect example of the ancient Roman bathhouse where you have the fireplace built into the side, and then underneath it the hot air would flow under the floor to heat it up and make this thing into like an entire sauna where the steam would just cook everybody. In a good way.
Oh man, Pompeii exceeded my expectations. Super cool. Not as many dead bodies as I thought there'd be, but learning about the day in the life of a normal Roman person here.
Pompeian.
Yes, it was very cool. And it's been a long day.
I thought it would be a whole bunch of rubble with like one house, but no, it's an entire city that they just uncovered.
I think the streets were my favorite part. They were just so big and so well stoned that, I don't know, it was very cool.
This is some well-stoned streets. The stones were so stony.
Alright, we're gonna hop on the train and go home. Found out where people poop.